So guys, hey, this is Umair Javed. I will be the one moderating the session today, and with me would be Rimsha. Rimsha, could you wave your hand in an awkward fashion? Okay, that's awkward enough. so we're here with our
Pretty
second
awkward.
session. We're here with our second session. Our first session was last week where we discussed the domains of designing. And this week, on popular demand, we've got someone really special, um, someone really special
No,
who's
no,
come
not that.
online from a.
Drum
Wait,
rolls,
I
please.
wasn't talking
Please
about you.
don't make me awkward. If you can just go with the normal introduction, I will be fine.
All right, Mr. Humble. So yeah, basically, my name is Umair Javed. I represent a company called ACLAN, and we're a talent curation platform who are providing digital services and web development services and all sorts of services to different clients and organizations, not just in Pakistan but all over the world. And glad to have so many people who are not from Pakistan in the session today. It just goes to show how big of a global world this all is. And now I would ask Rimsha to basically tell us a bit about A for Youth, which is the prime entity which is responsible to host this session. Rimsha.
Hi guys, first of all, I'm so happy to see all of you. We have like people from so many different countries, and it's just so refreshing to see, different people here. So now coming back towards A for Youth, I am the project lead for it, and this workshop basically comes under it. A for Youth works for basically the empowerment of youth, not only in Pakistan, but we're expanding in other countries as well. So that's basically the gist of it. Now, Umair will, explain a few of the rules for today's session.
All right, guys. We learned a lot, of course, from all our different sessions. This is our second session. We had quite a lot of productive feedback from the previous session. So in this session, we'll try to make the session as interactive as possible. Whichever of you has any question at whatever point in time can simply unmute their mic and then, straight up shoot up a question to Bilal Mubarak. It could be any question of any sorts. Some stats about today's session. So we've got around 50 applicants, and we have people from over 6 countries, which includes USA, UK, Germany, Amsterdam, Croatia, Islamabad is a country as well, people from Islamabad as well. And in terms of statistics, I would say so around 46% of people joining us are university students, which is really good to know because these are the days where you want to make the maximum out of these things. Digital skills is the future, and that's what we in ACLAN have always believed in. Remote working, digital skills, these are the future, and now is the time to embrace these things. And then we've got unemployed graduates who constitute around 15%. We've got full-time employed people who are 22%. Good to see those guys over here as well. As for the web development experience, well, I mean, 62% people, they're saying they're total newbies. And then 15% give themselves 2 stars, and then, that's where the rating goes. So, I mean, a little bit about today's session before I hand over the virtual mic to Bilal. This session, the aim of this session is to basically give you guys an insight about, websites and World Wide Web. It is something which we guys need to embrace at one point in time. We interact with websites every day. And you guys might be surprised knowing how easy it is to have your own website. You hear tech people talk about websites, apps so many times and make it sound so easy. But the question is for a non-techie person, is this really, this website domain, is it really that easy? Or how difficult is it? And can a common non-techie person actually think of making their own website, starting their own blog or an e-commerce website or anything? So that's where I will hand the virtual mic to Mr. Bilal Mubarak. There you go, man. Um, the floor is all yours. And
Smooth.
Okay, so starting off with my introduction, my name is Bilal Mubarak, as you all know. I'm the Chief Technology Officer of ACLAN, A for Youth, and our many other entities. I am like the one default CTO. Whichever company comes up under the banner of A-Clan, I happen to be the CTO no matter what. So basically, you can consider me the default CTO of all of
So
our companies.
coming in
Then
hard.
I graduated as a software engineer from Comstats University in Lahore. I did my graduation a couple of years ago. Then I moved. I was born and raised in Pakistan, but I moved to United States in Michigan a couple of months ago. And when I was in Pakistan, I was working with a lot of big companies. I was working with some government institutions, and uh, we were working remotely with some US companies, with some UK companies as well. And in all of those projects, I was involved as a technical person. In US over here, I'm working with one of the top medical supply provider of Michigan, who is like in the front line of providing essential equipment to all the COVID patients, to the hospitals, to like different clinics and stuff. So uh, I'm real, guys. This shit is real. I am essential and I'm real. Basically, the reason for this workshop was to, tell everyone that how technology is changing day by day. Not not long ago, like 10, 15 years ago, companies were hiring really expensive developers for making their simple websites or for making their little bit customized websites. And then there came this idea, and some developers came up with it that why not build something which non-technical people can use as well in order to make their website? Because at that time, when engineering in mechanical engineering, electrical engineering was on the top, there weren't that many software engineers. So companies were on the lookout of some good engineers, some good developers, but there weren't that many people. So what happened was some bunch of developers, they came up with an idea that let's make something which a non-technical person can use to, non-technical person can use to make their own website, because there was a demand and supply issue. There was a lot of demand, but supply wasn't that much. So uh, then there came this platform on which we will be working. I am sharing my screen now with you guys in three, two, and one. I think this should be working now.
It is,
Mary, am
yes.
I visible?
Yes, it is.
All right, perfect. So then there came WordPress. WordPress was there for many many years, but it wasn't that much famous. It was in its most basic state. But when people started to realize the real potential of WordPress, then they started using it. Then they started recommending their fellows, their colleagues, and companies started to make their entire web platforms based on WordPress. So WordPress was pretty famous back. Like WordPress became pretty famous really, really, really fast, right? Like even companies in America, they are using WordPress because the main issue in America and many other countries is that development is really, really expensive. You don't want to give thousands and thousands of dollars on something which is very simple, right? Then there come countries like India and Pakistan and Bangladesh, in which development expertise is not that much expensive. So even if they have to develop something from the scratch, not using WordPress, then they go on other, then they hire like our talent. But mostly, WordPress is so simple that literally anyone can make their own website just by learning a few of the things. So basically, what we will be discussing in this workshop is like how you can make your website right away in literally 1 hour or 2 hours with just a little bit of research without having any technical knowledge. And then in the end, we will discuss some pros and cons.
Could you
uh,
also, Bilal,
of
describe, I
WordPress.
mean, the types of websites which, let's say, WordPress can make? Because I'm sure when a non-techie hears the word website, what do they actually mean? Is this like a, how many types of websites are there? Like, e-commerce websites and normal blog websites and, the static websites. So if you could like maybe explain a few of the types of websites and, what website you could make on WordPress, I think that would be a good starting point as well.
All right, perfect. So basically, we have like two kinds of websites. One is static and one is dynamic. So static means in which content is not changing at all. It's static. Whatever you put in your website, it is going to stay in there for a long, long time. It is not going to be changed, right? And then there comes a dynamic website, and the perfect example of that is
Mhm.
Facebook. How Facebook is changing every second, like every minute you reload your website, there comes some new content from your friends, from different pages you like, and you follow a page and then you start getting notification about that page. So it's dynamic, it's like changing, it's functional, it's very, very, very interactive. So that's where dynamic websites come in. So in order to make a static website and dynamic website, you can use two type of technologies. One technology is the custom technology, which requires you to learn programming languages, which requires you to do some courses, and then you become like a proper developer and stuff. And the other type is using a CMS. So CMS means content management system. You are simply using a platform, a drag and drop utility to build your website without using any type of code or any kind of technical help, right? So I will skip on the programming part. It's for proper developers who are really advanced in that field. So those languages are used to make uh, something like really, really dynamic like Facebook, right? We will discuss programming languages in the end for like 4 to 5 minutes. Now we will focus on the second part, the which is the WordPress part. So now the WordPress part is a CMS which allows you to make any kind of website. It can be an e-commerce based, a blog, a portfolio, a simple static website, or like anything like that. So uh, when it comes to WordPress, so now let's like start discussing with WordPress. So now what people do is, okay, so Umair, does this satisfy your question? Should I like add more detail in it, or is it fine?
No, I think that satisfies my question. However, I do believe that there's a question by Mustafa Ali. Mustafa, you could simply unmute your mic and ask the question as it
Turn
is.
on. Yeah.
That's totally your call. But the question, Bilal, is which type of making website is more easy? So, I mean, the types of websites which you just described. I mean, if you were to tell these non-techie people, which website is the easiest to make? So maybe, we talk about Amazon, we talk about Facebook. Now, these are mega huge websites. And then you can talk about, news websites. And then you can talk about blog websites or I don't know. So of all of these websites, which of these is the simplest to make? Or, what do you think is the right way to answer this question?
All right, so basically, you can like it's only about which platform you're using in order to make a website, right? You can make any kind of website if the platform is right. So if we're talking about WordPress, then complexity is the same. Either you make an e-commerce, it's just the workflow. As long as you know the basics, then like that's fine, which we will be discussing. So if you know the basics of WordPress, then either it's e-commerce, it's portfolio, or like it's a blog, you will be able to make that.
So
So
basically on WordPress, almost all websites are almost the same level of
yeah,
difficulty.
exactly. Yeah,
All
exactly.
right. Correct.
All right.
Correct.
So now I'm gonna dive into the practical part of our workshop, which is and guys, like uh, All right. So for us, I just got your question about monetization of website. It's all about what you are doing with your website. If it's either on a custom platform or on a WordPress. If your website is a blog, then you can monetize it in both ways. But that's the topic for another day. It's like something which we can talk about as well: how to monetize your website, how to work on Google Ads, how to go into affiliate, or how to go into drop shipping. Like it's like literally a different topic. So if you want more detail on it, I can guide you at the end of the workshop. But let's keep it simple for now. We will be using WordPress, and for the test, we will be using a clan's domain. So what we will be doing is, since we're starting it from the very basics, we will be starting with this.
Bilal, I have a question for you though.
Yeah, sure.
So I'll pose as a, let's say I'll pose as a client, right?
Mhm.
And this is the most common question which the clients ask of us. So that means it's coming from a very non-technical perspective. So
Mhm.
let's say someone says, hey, I want a website. They don't know anything about website development. They don't know anything about the different CMS platforms which are available, right?
Mhm.
And we as an organization would recommend them that make a website on a clan, and then they on WordPress, and
Mhm.
then they'll say, is there any other alternative to WordPress,
Mhm.
like for instance Joomla or Wix?
Mhm.
So we'll tell them, no, WordPress is a better, you can
Mhm.
say, platform. And before you dive into WordPress in itself, I guess most of the people who are watching, like, they are non-technical enough that they should know that there are other alternatives to WordPress in itself.
Mhm.
And if there are some, why are we going with WordPress and not with Wix and not with, let's say, Joomla or any other CMS?
Mhm. Okay, so everything has its pros and cons. Speaking of platforms out there in the market, it also depends on what kind of website you are getting. So if you go into e-commerce, then just in e-commerce, there are like 10 different platforms which you can choose in order to make your website. It can be OpenCart, it can be Magento, it can be Shopify, or it can be WordPress. So it all depends on, it depends like honestly on two things. One is the budget and timeline of the client. And the other thing is the complexity of the project and scalability. Scalability is something on which we will talk at the end of this workshop. This is the most important thing, I guess, in this workshop. If you always, so we at A-Client, we always see things in longer perspective. So if client tells us that this is my website and I think that 5 years down the lane, I will be able to add 100,000 more products on the website, then you will never recommend them WordPress. You will just tell them, okay, for the start, it makes sense. If you don't have that much budget, go with WordPress since it's simple. And once your revenue starts getting in, then we can shift your website from WordPress to Magento. Now, Magento is like a business solution for an e-commerce website. Magento, OpenCart, and many other dedicated platforms, they have money to spend. We will be happy for them to make their website even on a custom platform using any programming languages. So it all depends on money, the time which client has. And since all of these platforms, CMSs, custom platforms, have their own pros and cons, so we literally match like based on client's requirement, which is going to be the best fit for them, and then we recommend them accordingly.
Bilal, I have a small analogy just to make people clear of what a CMS is. So can I um, talk about CMS as Facebook and a website being, let's say, a page on Facebook? So for
Mm-hmm.
example, I log into Facebook, I make my own account, and then,
Mm-hmm.
if I want to change my display picture, change my cover photo, post an update. So can I say that Facebook is like a CMS and my profile is like a website? Is it that simple to add and edit stuff?
Mm-hmm. So basically, Facebook, part of the Facebook is a CMS, like how it is easy for you to manipulate content, to change and edit content. It is part of the WordPress, right? So, uh, uh, and speaking of any other platform like Twitter, wherever you see there is like ease of changing content, that can safely be said as it is part of the WordPress, right? All right, so uh, coming back to our practical part of the session, I just logged into cPanel. So what is cPanel? cPanel is something which a hosting company gives you in order to manage your website. Now, what is a hosting company? And what is a domain? Taking this from the very basics, think of domain and hosting as a house, right? Domain is the address of your house. Using that domain or as an address, you can reach to the exact house, right? And hosting is the plot or the space which you get in your house. That space is totally yours. You can do anything with that. Obviously, if you have like 2,000 square feet of the space, you can do anything in that area. You can play around with that area. That is your space. So that is hosting. So
Yeah,
technically,
storage basically.
domain is used to tell web service exactly where the website is stored, and hosting is the space which we have, which can be said as I have like 10 GB of space in my mobile phone. I have 256 GB of space in my laptop. So you can do anything in that space. You can upload stuff, you can do your stuff, and and it can be upgraded later on as well. So this is domain and hosting. So all those hosting providers, we are not going into what are the top hosting providers, but obviously if you have a question, just write in there and we will get back to you on that. Some of the top, so these hosting providers, they give access to cPanel. cPanel is literally just there to make you uh, uh, manage your website. So there are like some things in there which you don't need to worry about, since WordPress is really basic thing and they have kept the installation of WordPress pretty easy as well. So all you have to do is, once you have registered with web hosting and domain provider, they send you a link. You just log in into that link and you come over here. So it will be a little bit different for everyone, but 80% of it is going to be similar. So when you come at the end, you see an option which is called WordPress, right? So you click on WordPress and it will take you where it will help you in order to install a WordPress. So this system in itself, as in cPanel, can be called a CMS as well, because it is providing you an easy interface to manage everything. So you simply click on install now. Here are some basic settings of WordPress. So what we will do is we will create a new directory on our website with the name of A for Q or FYI. All right. So you will be able to see it live on your computers as well once we are done with it. We'll keep it my blog. We'll keep it uh, how it is right now. Okay, so
I think everyone saw the password, so you better change it afterwards.
no one saw it. I just changed it. Okay, so these are like the basic settings. You don't have to worry about these. You can change these later on as well. So once like everything is done, you just hit install. And if there is any error, you can see it right now. If there is no error, then it will show you a success message. Congratulations, our WordPress installed. Now, literally, you can
So
just
Bilal,
visit this link.
what did we just do? We just installed WordPress on our URL, which is, let's say, www.umair.com. That's what we did right now.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we did right now. So as
Okay.
you can see, there is now a sample page, and uh, it is already showing you a website kind of layout. So you already know that there is something over here, right? So again, the URL is, I'm pasting that URL in our comment section. so that you guys can see this as well, and you guys can see all the progress which we are having. All right.
So is this page like live right now? Was it that easy?
Yeah, this page is live right now. You can visit this page right now to see what we are doing, or you can just look at the screen because I will be showing you an interface and how to use that. So it will help you guys in order to figure out what is how to use WordPress. So now we have to manage this website. So like how Facebook is, you log in into Facebook and there is one specific section uh, through which you can manage everything, right? Like your settings page where you can change information. And similarly for WordPress, once you have installed WordPress from your cPanel, this is the cPanel area. Now we won't be using this at all. So we can just close it, right? So we don't complex things. Now, coming back to our front end facing website, we have to change everything. We have to now upload our own website over here. So we will go to wp login.php. This is how you can log in into WordPress. We'll write in the information which we chose when we were installing WordPress. Oops.
EIZZA, EI, got it.
Yeah. All right. So this is the interface of WordPress. It's pretty simple. Like we will go through basic options and then we will use a custom template in order to like edit everything. And then you'll be able to see as well that how you can choose different designs on WordPress. This will come under my introduction of WordPress part, like what is WordPress and how we use it usually. What is the workflow in WordPress? So WordPress is a platform, right? You use it to make your own websites, right? So WordPress has two kind of templates. Speaking of templates, what are templates? Templates are literally website designs, full-fledged websites which are ready for you to use. They are free for you to use. You just have to download them and you have to start using them. This is the power of WordPress, guys. You are not coding anything, you are not doing anything. You are literally downloading a template which is already there. You just have to look for it. You just have to then download it, install it, and there you go. Your website is live and ready to go. And changing content is not hard at all. So let's dive into the templates part. What are the templates? So if I do a little Google search, uh, WordPress templates. Oops. So we can see free WordPress templates. There are a lot of WordPress themes. Themes and templates, they are the same thing. And obviously, how people earn on WordPress, like developers, they make their own theme. Like on the right side, you can see there are some paid themes which you can buy for some amount and you can start using them. It's all about first, what you have to do is you have to know what is your business category. Like let's, for example, for this workshop, we can take, for example, a e-commerce website, right? Uh, let's take an e-commerce website. So there are two kind of templates for e-commerce, free and paid. Obviously, free templates will be pretty basic with not that much information in them, with not that much advanced options in them, and pretty basic style. But that will work as well. If you are on budget and you don't want to spend that much, WordPress is the best option for you. You just have to buy a hosting, which will cost you like 3,000-4,000 a year. You'll install WordPress on your hosting, like how we installed it right now. Then we'll go in there, install WordPress, add our own theme, and I'll tell you how to look for free themes. So it isn't that much difficult to find a free theme. All right. So this was it for the template part. Now let's go back to our WordPress dashboard and see our different options which are there. And the reason why, okay, guys, so I can be a little emotional in terms of WordPress because I just love how they have made this platform so simple for everyone. I am a developer and this is my comfort zone, right? Sometimes I want to work on a custom platform, suggest client that, okay, we will charge you a lot, but we'll give you like a full dedicated custom platform. But then I get lazy and then I tell them that, you know what, there's this platform called WordPress. It is really great. It is simple. It makes my life easier. It makes client's life easier because he doesn't have to pay much. I don't have to work on it that much. And at the end of the day, we both go home happy, right? So this is WordPress. It's like a really fun thing to do. Literally anyone, my brother, he's 18, 19 years old. He When he had no technical knowledge, I just gave him like a half hour of uh, um training on WordPress, and now he's like making like really good websites on WordPress. And and guys, there happened to be uh, a person in our company who is a designer and who doesn't know shit about technology. But he's making really good websites right now. I won't tell who that person is. That person might be in this workshop right now. He doesn't know shit about technology, but he is really, now he's getting really good in like websites and stuff. Like this is the power of WordPress. This is why we did this workshop in the first place, because you didn't have to pay any.
Bilal, by the way, you have done some disservice to that person because he's a full-fledged software engineer and
We
he
didn't.
can.
Yeah, I was just kidding, but you know, like that's why we did this workshop in the first place, because WordPress is so simple. Like even for like full-time developers like me, Osama, Umair, Mujtaba, we are all like software engineers, and we are like pretty deep into what programming languages are, and we can like literally code anything. But the thing with WordPress is when you have a lot of stuff on your plate and you want to do something like really fast, then WordPress is the go-to platform. It's something. Okay, I have said a lot of things about WordPress. So I think now let's just dive into those different options. So speaking of like different options, post. What are posts? If you're making a blog, you have like different articles on. Uh, uh, you want to make your own blog, you just go into the post section. You can see all of your posts. You can add a new article. You can categorize those articles into different categories. Media is like the entire image and video directory of your website. We'll look into these details in more detail. Pages, you want to add a new page on your website. It's just simple as clicking on add new page. Literally, it's as simple as that. Comments, people comment on your blog, on your under your product pages. They comment on your website. This is the section to go to. All those comments which you receive on website can be viewed from here. Then there comes like WordPress and theme specific settings, appearance, plugins, users, tools, settings. We will look into these later on, but these can be a little bit advanced. So we will first find a new
Who's
theme.
this?
Hello.
Who's this? Yeah, yeah,
who
sorry.
is, who is you who Okay,
Who is
it's a little
who?
bit awkward. Okay, uh let's go back into our workshop. It was a little bit awkward, but let's go back into our workshop. So we will start with finding a new template. uh,
And
we will look at options associated with that template, how to change your website and how to change everything, and then we'll just go with the flow. All right. So, how do you find a free template? Question of the day. You have installed WordPress, just go into appearance and go into themes, right? as simple as clicking on this link. You have some basic templates already in there, right? These are like the basic legacy templates of WordPress. You can just click on activate, and your front end template will change accordingly, right? You are not doing anything technical, you're just clicking on different buttons. But now, okay, so now what we can do is we will go on Google, we'll find new template and we'll just upload it here. So we will make the same query on Google, WordPress templates. We will find some bunch of free templates. Make sure we are free. All right. So you can open any website and you can find like any template which you like. Since we are making an e-commerce platform, so we can like just add e-commerce. All right. So since there are a lot of templates out there, all those templates are in different designs. So I like look and feel of this template right now. So let's go ahead and download this one. And there will be a lot of templates out there with different designs. So based on your company's branding, you can literally choose like which template to go for, and you have enough flexibility to even change colors and content in that, right? So as long as you know what you are doing and you know the basic things, you will be able to, okay, wait. Now this is some personal stuff. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. I'll download the template, and once I have downloaded it, we'll start with it.
Guys, if you guys have any question, you guys, this is a good time.
Yeah,
It's a lot
meanwhile you can
awkward
ask
right
if
now.
you guys have any questions.
There was this one question which said that is WordPress.com the same as WordPress.org?
Yeah, that's a really nice question. So basically, both of these are similar platforms, but WordPress.com, you can say, is an online community specifically focusing on blogs. So if you want to go into blogging, then WordPress.com provide you with basic domain hosting. You didn't even have to think about that when you are like on WordPress.com. So they do everything for you, like literally everything, right? So WordPress.org is something which brings in a little bit more flexibility and a little bit more options. Uh, WordPress.com allows you to use their own platform, use their own domain to edit your website. You can't do it on your own server. You have to buy everything from them. And WordPress.org, on the other hand, uh, you can literally like upload it according to your own needs on your own server, and you can customize it the way you want. But WordPress.com has some uh,
Right. And
it has some restrictions.
then there was this another question which said that can it be monetized? Which again is very important because anyone, if they are even creating a passion project based website or a hobby website, they would like to monetize it through Google AdWords or something. So can these websites be monetized? This was another question.
Yeah, all of them can be monetized, and I will discuss one part of WordPress in the plugin section. Basically, WordPress provide you certain plugins through which you can monetize your website. Like I think everyone, most of you know about Google AdWords. Google AdWords is a product by Google, which you use to put ads on your website. So if you have a website which has huge traffic, then you can put ads using Google AdWords on your website, and based on the number of impressions, Google pays you. So people who are earning using Google Ads, they are making from $200 a month to $20,000 a month. Like it's blogs like medium.com, blogs like Forbes, even Forbes. If you go on there, they'll literally ask you to disable your ad blog, because uh, even being a huge platform, they're making money out of those ads, right? So like this is a huge potential of there's a huge potential of Google Ads. So if you happen to make your website really popular, let's say you have a blog and people are reading your blog, then you can put ads into your website. So all of these options can be provided in WordPress. You just have to go into plugins, download a related plugin, and just start with that.
And Bilal, like this is my own personal question. The theme we are downloading right now, is it more like a free theme, or is it like a pirated, cracked theme?
Okay, so there comes a discussion now, types of themes. As I told you, there is one paid theme and one free theme. So free themes can be downloaded directly from WordPress as well, but because of some WordPress issue with their theme directory, we are not able to do that, but they can be downloaded from other websites as well, right? And then there comes these paid themes. We saw these paid themes, they costed like $75, $70, right? So we can either get those themes on, or there are like some platforms out there through which you can download those free themes as those paid themes in free as well. But those themes are called pirated themes, like how you download cracked softwares, there are cracked themes as well. But the biggest issue with that is that they have viruses in them. They can harm your hosting, they can harm your website, specifically if you are dealing with sensitive information like taking clients' information, or taking payment methods, taking credit card details on your website. Then a lot of thefts or things like this happen on WordPress because people are using pirated themes, right? So make sure that if you use a website, if you want to use a website, then go for, like, if you want to buy a theme, then go for a legit theme. Don't just download it as a crack, because it can harm you and your customers and your overall image, because they can, like, you can get blacklisted by Google in some cases as well. Because one thing which you should know about WordPress is that since WordPress is handling everything for you, so you don't know the theme which you download and install, what it will do to your WordPress, because everything is like hidden from you. You are just seeing like the platform and like the face of it, right? So this is why it is very important to go for like legit themes. They are there. You'll find some people in different groups who will be selling you like some themes and like low price, but don't go for that. They're like, it's like all, you have to be really careful in that. WordPress is an amazing platform, but uh, obviously it comes with some cons as well.
Bilal, we have a few questions. I think we can do brief answers because we're only 45 minutes in. But I think taking questions is a little more important because that's the essence of the workshop. So the first question is by Faraz. He says, can you clarify a little bit more on domain hosting? So brief words on what domain hosting is.
Mm-hmm. All right. So basically, domain hosting is like you need an address for users so that they can open your website. Like how you make your website available globally so everyone can access it. You want an address kind of thing. So there are like many famous websites like GoDaddy, you might have heard of it. Then there are some websites in Pakistan as well. But just talking about GoDaddy, you just go on there, and your domain has to be unique. You cannot like have the same name as of the other domain. You go on those websites and you check for your domain. Name availability, if it's available, then it lets you buy it, and it costs like it doesn't cost that much. It literally like costs like um, I guess $12 to $15 in order to buy a domain. And as soon as you have a domain, you like have an access, so you will be able to and then hosting. So you need space and hosting. So as once you have the hosting, then you go in there and you put your website on and you make it public, you make it live to the audience.
Got it. So another question is by Shoaib. He says, from can you host a WordPress website from your own home, from your own computer, rather than buying it online? Can you do it on your own laptop?
Yeah, so basically these servers, they are like computers, they're public. But the thing with doing it from home is that there are many issues in that. As long as your computer is on, where it can be live. There are some, it's an advanced topic which you can do with your computer, install some things on your computer, and uh, you can literally make your website live from your own computer. But as long as your website is your laptop or computer is on, your website will be accessible, and it won't have a domain name. It will be like an IP, like 1.3.6.7. Like something like that, right? So it can be done, but it's advanced and it has a lot of cons instead of pros.
Got it. Next question. Does WordPress have its own analytics, as in hits and views and whatever?
So WordPress is like a platform. It has a lot of plugins in it, and people, different developers, they have contributed a lot in WordPress. So if you go into the plugin section, I'm just activating my screen share because I'm done with my done with downloading a theme.
Okay, got
So
it. So meanwhile, another question, which is, I think it's a common question, people are asking, how can we make sure that the theme which we downloaded is not pirated and it's legit and it's free?
yeah, so I'll send you some website links, and it will be pretty clear as well. Those, like, you can literally see and you can tell that this is not a legit website. But one of the main website which we have used in our like 7 years of experience, uh, it's I'm sending the link in the group. It's called themeforest.net. So you go in there, you find your related template, and if you are not liking any free template, then you can buy your template from there. So this is the option which was not working earlier. So basically, we went into appearance and themes, and then there came like this option which has like bunch of themes. You just have to like search for the theme you want. Like I just wrote e-commerce into search option, and now there are like bunch of themes in here. So I'll just go with any theme. Okay, I'll just go with this option, and I'll click on install. Like you can see all the functionalities which this theme have, and you can go ahead with the install part. So now, like what you are doing is when you install WordPress, it had a basic layout, but now you selected your theme and you installed it and you activated it, and now your website is literally changed. So now this was our old layout, which was the default one. So if we reload it right now, and if you open it at in your own system, then you will see that the layout is changed, right? So now the layout is installed. Whenever you install a theme, you will get to see this message that every theme comes with their own option. They are like different plugins. So what this theme require is like for some plugins like Helper, WooCommerce, WooCommerce blocks. Now, WooCommerce is the famous WordPress plugin. So WordPress works on plugins and themes. Themes are which they give a layout to your website, and plugin is what um, uh, makes your website functional, right? So WordPress is a mix of themes and plugins. We have already discussed about theme in detail. We will just discuss a little bit about plugin, what they are, and how they can satisfy your need. Like there was a question about monetization and about analytics in WordPress. Just go in the plugin directory, which we will see right now, and uh, so you have to install these themes first, and then you will go into plugin directory, and we'll see like how many plugins are available for us. And now you will be shocked, like there are more than five, like more than 1 million plugins in WordPress which you can use. For for your own purpose, there are like different plugins. You can literally get any kind of uh, functionality in your website using your WordPress, uh, using your plugins directory. So what we will do now is we have installed all the required plugins. Now we will go into plugin section. We have three options: install plugins, add new plugin editor. We don't want to discuss anything about plugin editor. We will just limit ourselves to installed and add new. Now there were some default themes, there were some default plugins, and then there were some plugins which WordPress, which are theme recommended, which were Superb Helper, WooCommerce, WooCommerce Blog. So whatever there is in our plugin directory, we just go ahead and activate it. Like we will just activate WordPress, WooCommerce, and then we will like activate the other plugin as well. So now comes the customize. This is basically the customization and configuration part of the WordPress. Once you have selected a theme, you customize it. So now it took me to a page which is saying me to configure WooCommerce. We won't do that right now. We'll go into the detail of it. Uh, Instead of using their own uh, configuration panel. So we'll like close everything which we don't need, and we'll go back into plugins again to see if there is any non-active. There is one, so we'll activate that. And oh, all right, so now we have all the working plugins. These I don't use them that much. Usually, those themes which have comment section on them, this plugin is used to fight spam messages. So I'll just delete that. And this is like a default plugin, so I'll delete that as well. So now we have like these three plugins, right? Okay. So now if we load our page again, it will still be the same, right? So now we have to like configure our front end part of the theme. So I told you earlier, then appearance, user tool settings, etc.
Sir, we
are
have a
some
question. I'm
options
sorry,
which,
I'm cutting you off.
yeah, no problem.
Faraz is asking, what is the purpose of all three of these plugins? So briefly, if you could tell, the purpose of each of these.
Okay. So Superb Helper is basically a, okay, so these plugins can be specifically from their plugin, from their theme authors as well. Superb Helper is a plugin. You can, all these plugins have a description with them. Is your personal WordPress assistant. This means that this plugin is providing some additional functionality which is associated with your theme. So your theme will be using these options to provide you additional functionality. WooCommerce is a plugin which helps you give you an e-commerce functionality. So in coding project, in custom project, it takes you 3 months in order to make an e-commerce functionality. But in WordPress, it takes you not even 3 seconds, right? You just search for WooCommerce in your plugin section and you download it, and boom, you have a e-commerce functionality. So we looked at installed plugins, which will show you all the plugins which your WordPress is using right now. Then in the add new section, you can download new plugins. So just search for it and you will find it. You were asking for analytics. All right, let's search for analytics and see what we have over here. The top option, Google Analytics, the product provided by Analytics. enhanced e-commerce Google Analytics plugin for WooCommerce. There you go. Like, see, like for everything, there is a plugin. You just have to search over here and you'll find that, right? Now, in some websites, there is a subscription option. Subscribe to our email. We won't spam you, which is a lie. Everyone spams you. They send you thousands of emails in like a year. And this is how this thing works. They go there, they write a subscription. They get to see different plugins related to subscription, email subscribers, and newsletters. Simple as installing it, activating it, and on your left side, this panel, this is the magic panel. Here you will see all the options which your WordPress has. So uh, you go here and you'll see like all the plugins which you downloaded, like Superb Helper, which we downloaded and installed. It's over here. Then WooCommerce, the plugin which powers e-commerce, is over here, right? So everything is over here. So you download it from here, from your right section, and it appears on your left, and you can use like different options. So now we will work on giving our website a look and feel, right? It is still the basic, it is still the same, which was in the start. We will go ahead in the settings part. In the settings part, there are like different options: general, writing, reading, discussion, media, permalinks, etc. I'll start with the first one, general. And general shows your blog title. Since now we are dealing with e-commerce, so let's name it my personal shop, right? And tagline, we can name it uh, all products under one roof, right? And this is like our URL. You don't have to mess with this. Like, this is the email on which you'll get notification about all the activities in your WordPress, and then we'll save changes. We are not done with the configuration part yet. We still have to make some other changes. This is
Bilal, one
something
question by
which you will
Mustafa,
do. Yeah,
which says that
Mustafa.
these plugins have different versions, and if the
Hmm.
version activated version changes, does it affect the website or not? I guess the
Yeah.
main question is, do these plugins get automatically updated or not, and does they affect the website or what?
Yeah, they do affect the website. So you have to make sure that whichever plugin you are downloading is compatible with your theme. And even if you mess up, even if you mess your website up, then there are plugins which can roll back the changes. So this is the power of WordPress. You make a mistake using WordPress feature, and then you undo that mistake using another WordPress feature. Right? This is the power of WordPress. And Lena, your question, how important is adding and removing plugins? It depends on what kind of functionality you want. If you don't want any kind of functionality and your theme is providing all those functionalities, then you don't even have to add any plugin. Just use your website as it is, and yes, if you have bunch of plugins and you're not using few of them, then it's like a good advice to go and delete that plugin, because it can make your website slow. So writing settings, if you have a blog, then you can come here and you can look at uh, uh, these settings. Post category, like the default category of your article. Whenever you create an article, you'll like get to see this. Then on the reading part, this is the main part. This is like one of the important part which will change the look and feel of our website right away. So basically, plugins are used to help us on the back end of the website, right? Yes, for us, so plugins are basically used to add functionality in the website. There are two parts of plugins. The effect of plugin is seen in the front end, but those plugins can be managed from the back end. So plugin has to do with both backend and the front end. So if you're adding like a functionality of subscription, then you can manage that subscription from the backend, and you can see that subscription live and functional on the front end, like on your domain. Okay, so there's a question from Shoaib. If we are making a website for a client, will you give your own email or the email of a client has? Okay, so it is always advised to say like in the tenure of your development process, just use your personal email so that if there is any error in the website, you're notified about it. Okay, so heading back to our one important section of the WordPress, which is the reading section. So reading section, your homepage displays your latest post. So currently it's displayed as like a default blog page, but we will change that to our custom page. So when we installed this plugin, when we installed our theme, that theme came with its own pages and its own options. We can enable that over here. So our default homepage will be okay. So right now, okay. So the thing is, we haven't installed the demo data of this template. So every theme comes with its own demo data. There are 90% chances that that theme will have its own demo data. What is demo data? Demo data means that all those options are already set for you. Like if you're making an e-commerce, there are already products, there are already categories in there, and all you have to do is to just import that data and start like editing that data. But this is even much better because we will be doing everything from the scratch. Okay, so Umair, how much time do we have left?
We've actually just done 1 hour. It's
Okay.
10:30, so
Yeah,
1 hour and 5 minutes. I think you're really short on time.
4 minutes. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so if you guys want, like, we are now we are heading into the practical part. You already know the basics of WordPress, and we are going into theme settings. These theme settings can be important. These theme settings can be different for every theme. So I will suggest you to stay in this workshop and look at these settings, how we are changing them. Uh, but if you want to go, then it's totally on you. But uh, we are starting with the real thing over here now.
Let me just add that the entire session is being recorded and it will also be live on A for Youth YouTube channel. So in case there's a time error with
Yeah.
anyone, because so as a backup we upload the entire session on YouTube as well. So that's going to be available in any case.
Perfect. All right. So um, our homepage is still the basic version of our is still the basic version. It's like it's still the same. So that means that we have to add more information in it now. So what we will do is now we will start with adding like products in our website, since it's an e-commerce based product website. So we'll look at like the e-commerce options. So as I told you before, WooCommerce is the dedicated plugin in WordPress which enables e-commerce functionality. So what we'll do is we'll go into WooCommerce right away and click on like the first option, which is the dashboard. So as I told you before, WooCommerce is the dedicated plugin in WordPress which enables e-commerce functionality. So what we'll do is we'll go into WooCommerce right away and click on like the first option, which is dashboard. So thing in your e-commerce business. Performance based on like different parameters, net sales, how many sales you are generating from your website, top categories as in top items which you are selling. So there can be bunch of other options as well. Like if you want more detail in it, then you can go ahead in the plugin section, click on add new and search for more WooCommerce related plugins which can give you more detail, right? So this gives you an overview of your shop. Now let's go into orders. So orders section will have all the information about new orders, right? You just click on them, you view the order, you see like who wants that specific product, where do they want that shipped and everything. And then an option for coupons, we won't go into that right now. Customers reports are the same. settings, it lets you manage the email, like on which address email should go. It helps you manage your shipping. It helps you manage geo-targeting based products, like if someone is viewing the product from, let's say, America, then show them the pricing in dollar. If they're visiting from Pakistan, then show them the pricing in PKR, right? So all of these settings can be managed from here. But let's go into, okay, Ali Chaudhary has, is there a way to add local payment gateway here? Yes, there is a way of that. If you know about EasyPay, then EasyPay supports WordPress, and and many other payment providers, they are now supporting WordPress as well. So once you have signed up with them, they give you their custom plugin. You just download that in WordPress using this same plugin section, plugin, add new plugin, and you start using their options. So it's like as simple as that. You don't have to go into detail and code or like stuff like that, right? So this was.
Bilal, I have a relevant or rather irrelevant question regarding WooCommerce or this shopping cart. So most of the people ask like, can they attach their bank account for online payments? Will we be touching that, or we'll skip that part right now?
We'll obviously I'll obviously provide an overview of that once we are done setting up our shop. But all those payment gateways, they differ from one another, but basic steps are the same. So we'll look into that.
So we will, right?
Yeah, we will.
Perfect.
All right. So now coming on adding products in the website. These WooCommerce is the settings related to your shop. Now we'll go ahead in the product section, which is pretty self-explanatory as well. All products, add new categories, tags, attributes, right? All products, we don't have any product in our WordPress right now. So we can either click on create product from here or like from the menu. So all the options they lead you, they are pretty self-explanatory and they're pretty simple. So what should we add in our website? Our panda mask is really famous. So let's go ahead and like search for it. Okay. We are gonna add this product in our website, right? So we'll simply download this image because and we'll come back to our shop. So now these options are pretty self-explanatory as well. I'll keep telling you one by one. First is the product name. Product name can be panda mask. This is the product description. And now these are the categories. As you can see, things are very, very simple in WordPress. You can either create your category from here, or you can go on your menu and click on categories and you can create it from there. Now, what are categories? In different websites, you might have seen, if you go on Amazon right now and if you go into technology section of the website, so technology is a category. Technology has all the products which are related to category, which are related to that category. So you have a fashion e-commerce store. You have different categories like shoes, shirts, pants, and accessories, right? So all of these can be different categories, and you can assign those categories while you're adding a product. So let's say I added panda masks. So I'll create like a generic category called masks, right? And I'll add it over here. So now this product will be added in mask category. And if I click on mask on my front end, I'll see all those products which are added in this category, right? This is how you categorize your products in WordPress, as simple as that. Now, our product is going to be simple. You might have seen different e-commerce store where you can see you have to choose color, you have to choose size, you have to choose like a lot of other things. So they are variable products. Variable products means it's not just one product, there are different variations of that product. So we'll keep it simple. We'll now we have to add a price of this panda mask. Let's and I just noticed that we have prices in pounds. So let's go ahead and change that. This way you can see a little bit of WordPress options as well, WooCommerce options as well. So in WooCommerce settings, I told you we do like all the shipping and currency and stuff related to our shop. In that, we can go ahead and give it like a uh, Gilbert Lahar. This is where our shop exists physically, and if it's not, if it doesn't exist physically, then you don't even have to change that. Just add on like your country and your currency, and you will be good to go. Selling locations: sell to all countries, ship to all countries. But if you have any limitation, then you can choose like from here. It's as simple as that. Now, our currency, it's gonna be PKR. Okay, that's where we erase this off. Oh yeah, no.
Bilal, what is
That's
racist?
RF.
Yeah, I thought there's no Pakistani currency, so I was like, they're being racist right now. So we'll go ahead and we'll save changes. Now, literally, our currency is changed. So what we'll do, so it is changed, right? We were into general and we changed all these basic settings. There are many other tabs: product, shipping, payments, blah blah blah. We'll look at them one by one. Let's go into our add to product cart. So I have to reload this page in order to view latest pricing. So I'll just go ahead and I like save it. So publish button is used to save your product, right? So basically currently this product is added in the website. Uh, so I'll just move ahead with different options. So now you can see our prices in rupees. It's this mask is for 1500 rupees. Uh, wait, let me see. Sir, I don't have to go off now. Thank you so much. It's totally fine, Zara. We'll have a recording of this workshop so you can watch it afterwards. Now, inventory. Uh, there can be products which you have in limited stock, so you just go ahead and click on manage stock. In total, this product is pretty famous, guys, so grab it ASAP. You only have 10 quantities left. It's first come, first term basis. So just grab this mask. We have 10 of these in quantity. So since we are done with that, now is the shipping part. How much this product weighs. So this weight and dimension is used like in advanced cases to calculate the shipping cost, right? And we don't have to change that right now because most of the websites in Pakistan, they're pretty basic. They don't even charge you based on shipping. They have default rates for different shipping providers like uh, FedEx or like they have like default prices. Link products, you see different websites in which you buy one product and they tell you that if you're buying this product, then buy this as well. Maybe you're selling an accessory of something. Like if you're selling that mask, then there is like a extension of that mask, new ribbon, which you can put against that mask in different colors. So you can sell it using these options. Attributes are something which is a little bit advanced topic. It lets you add like color in different variations. So go ahead and size for that. So we click a size, go for color. This mask is available in white color, in black color, and in red color. These three colors this mask is available in. So what we will do is once we save it and once we view the product, then on the website you'll see that there is an option in which we have to select color in order to proceed. So once we receive the order, then we will know that what color does customer wants. Okay, this is saved, and this is like we don't have to go into these options. Now we'll go ahead and upload our picture. So for the picture, we have to go into product image section. In media library upload files, it will allow you to upload from your computer. Now we just have to see where we downloaded this. I don't want to open up any personal image, so I'll be careful.
Documents.
I think this is it. Wait, guys, this is
It says
I'm
7.1, so you could search for it.
I have stopped sharing my screen because you never know.
Thank you for
Yeah,
the favor, man.
found it. Okay, sharing it back again. All right. So found this image. Now we have selected it, and now we're opening it right now. Uh, as simple as so. Now there are a lot of options which we have to take care of. Like when we are making a website, we have to make sure that it's something which Google likes, because if it's something which Google doesn't like, then your website won't rank up in Google. So if someone writes panda mask, buy panda mask in Pakistan, then our website should show up. So there are some things which we have to take care of, like while uploading images, WordPress gives you an option to manage alt text. So alt text is an option which Google looks at. If your image is broken or something and is not visible for some reason, then alt text is displayed. So we'll just name like this as the panda mask, and it is like a good option to always rename your alt texts. So you'll set this product, and now we'll like save it again, and now we will be able to see our product. Okay, so
Beautiful.
just give me a moment. Okay, so there are this theme requires a lot of customization. Uh, if we go into the WooCommerce part, we have to create product pages. Let's go into settings and let's go into products. Okay, so there are further settings which are associated with your shop. Uh, Now, since I told you, every theme is a new theme. Every theme comes with their own options. Some themes, they require a demo data, and some themes you have to do everything from the scratch. And unluckily, this is the theme in which we have to do something from the scratch, right? So what we will do is uh, we have we have to select a shop page in here, and we'll go ahead and create a shop page, but that will require some technical customization, but not every theme is like that, since we went all according to the flow. So we selected one theme which was looking nice to us, but when you are making your own website, you can do your research and you can see that how easy it is to edit that template. Now, they assume that every person who is editing the website has some technical knowledge of it. So if you're not technical at all, uh, you will require a little bit of research. Wait, let yeah, for us, it is. Okay. So, uh, okay, so there are two ways to go about this. We can either go into that technical customization using this theme, which can take a little bit of more time, or we can go ahead and look at one actual example of the WordPress and how to manage things. So, Umair, how much what's the update on the time?
And we are 1 hour and 21 minutes. So I think we should make it as short as possible.
All
Um,
right. So what I'll do right now is that I'll show you a live example of WordPress, which is one of our clients' website. He's an amazing client, and first I'll show you the look of it, and then I'll show you the back end of it, like how everything is made. It will help you in order to understand like what you can do with an e-commerce website. Okay, so this is an outdoor furniture website, which we made a couple of months back on WordPress. It was a really simple project, but you can see like WordPress templates. It's a really simple website with a lot of options in it. It features this live website which include now as well. And I'll show you the back end of it, like how have to make sure you are using those options which are supported by WordPress. So if you make your website in HTML, you would have to use a programming language. Not that, but developers, they have like done enough for us. They have given us different templates. We can use those, which are already in there, and we can use those to manage our website. All right. Okay. So we are already far away in our website. So this is the facing of the website, and I guess the most important things. First is which we saw in previous pages are already made for us. Okay, so let me give you a little bit of brief on this template. This template came with its own demo data. These were all of the pages which was available to me. I just went into them, little bit of a picture and a testimonial section. On the pages section, this is our about page, right? We can create, before they create a new page, add new, or if your theme like different pages in here, just go in there and edit that theme. Click on the edit, it will open up a new website. So now the wonderful thing about WordPress is that all the layout is the same. Like every layout is the same. We saw in the product section that we had the same add title part. So we just add page name, then we like move forward with like editing the content. Now, one thing about WordPress is, which I told you before as well, that there can be multiple plugins to achieve the same thing. Now, here I'll show you one plugin. So right now I'm opening plugin section as well. So WordPress comes with its own basic editor in which, just like Word document, you have access to italics and list or indentation. Similarly, in WordPress, you have access to that. But to make your life much easier, there are some plugins, and I'll show you what that plugin is. This is that plugin. page builder. It literally gives you drag and drop option if you want to make your own website. So just look for this plugin and install it. Once you have installed this plugin, go into your page, create a new page, and you will see something like this, right? Now I have a classical mode option. I'll click on classical mode, and here I see the real, like the true code which is making all that layout on this about page, right? But we want to make things simpler. So what we do is we use that plugin and we enable it, and uh, now here we see something which is very in a good and easy interface. So go ahead and start editing like all of those things. So let's say our page doesn't have anything right now. So let's say we just have like this one plus bar over here. So we will just click on this, and here you can see literally all the options which you need in order to make your own website. So since this plugin, this theme is using WooCommerce as well, there are some things, some options available to only WordPress based, only WooCommerce based templates. So you can add like a cart page, you can add a product, you can add different products, bunch of products, and you can add everything related to that. If we look at like some options in here, we can add a single image, we can add a gallery, we can add Facebook like, what are other things? We can add like different banners, Google Map, is all about using correct plugin. If I were to make a layout like this, then it would have taken me maybe an hour or two. But using this plugin, I can literally do that in 5 minutes. So like all of these sections are added from this plugin, and in order to edit any of that section, we just hover over that, click on the pencil icon, and like this is like the content. We just edit that, and like we just edit that, and we just save it, and we just update it. So we'll close it for now. We don't have to update anything. This is the introduction on pages. This is how you add pages. Now, this was the one important topic of WordPress. The other important topic, how do you link these pages? So now we have created a page, right? Now, how are we going to link it in our menu bar so people can click on it and go on that page? It's as simple as going into appearance and in menu settings. So all of this information can be seen in settings and in appearances and stuff. So now go into menus. This is the beauty of WordPress, that everything is so self-explanatory that you don't even have to search for anything. You just look around and you'll see that option. Like menu is self-explanatory. You know that menu is something which is kind of a navbar and which is providing you option. So there are a bunch of menus in here. You can create a new menu. When you create a new menu, you can, here are the menu location settings. You can select a display location for that menu. Where do you want to show that menu? You want to keep this menu as a primary, in top bar, in full screen, as a language switcher, like as a currency switcher. Now, here is one important thing. All the themes will have somewhat, you can say 70 to 80% of similar layouts and similar options, but 20 to 30% of them will still be different, right? So this workshop is all about telling you that what to expect, and it isn't about any specific circumstance. Like if it's like an e-commerce, then it should be like this. No, it's not related to that. It's like just a basic flow of how you manage things. All right, so let's say we have added like a new page. I'll just go ahead and create a demo page. We want to add that in the website since it's live right now and there are customers on this website. So we'll just like create a page for us. Uh, and we'll see how it appears in the menu section. So I just created a page. It isn't live yet because it isn't linked. Anything which is not linked in WordPress is not live. So it's really important that once you have created that thing, you link it with something. So I just reloaded the menu page, and this is the page which I just created, the demo page. Now I'll add this to the menu, and I can choose the location by like drag and dropping it. This is the beauty of WordPress. Like you don't even have to do anything. You can choose the location of your new page, and that's it. So I'll go ahead and I'll just delete it. And so once we have saved the menu, we'll see like all of new options over here. All right. This was the second most important topic of WordPress, which you needed to understand. Now, till now, you are capable enough to make your own website on WordPress without using advanced options. So sky is the limit. We can go as deep as we can in WordPress, but it all depends on how much time do we have and how much focus we need to put in at one point of time. So what we'll do right now is you guys, okay, so those who think they have enough knowledge now and they can make a new website, they can go ahead and leave this workshop if they want to. But if they want to stick around, then they're welcome to. I'll show some more uh, advanced options right now, specifically related to e-commerce, like
Bilal,
how to
sorry, could
manage
could you
everything.
make it a little more simpler and just tell people how much more time do you think you need to cover the entire thing? Do you need 15 more minutes, 30 more minutes, or you know?
All right. So we can cover e-commerce since it was our topic for today. Like it
Yeah.
was the topic which we chose. We can cover e-commerce in 15 minutes. And after 15 minutes, there will be a 10-minute of discussion related to why and when to use WordPress and when not to use WordPress. And those who are looking for something a little bit
Mhm.
advanced, I'll tell them based on my experience that why WordPress can not be a good uh, thing when you're scaling and when you're going big. So if you want to stick around for that, then I'll be doing that in the last 10 minutes after 15 minutes.
Fine.
So you essentially want 30 more minutes.
25 technically.
Okay, let's just make it quick. Otherwise, another option could be we could have another session next weekend. So because the
Yeah.
option is all ours. So
Uh-huh. Okay, so let's do
But
this.
Bilal is a pretty emotional guy when it comes to
I know, I know,
WordPress.
I know.
I'd rather
So I'll cover WordPress in 5 minutes, and then after that we'll jump to the like our other.
But by the Bilal, serious question. So, do you think, let's say, if we propose that, hey, we can take you through a step-by-step workshop where you can the participants who are willing to make their own website, they can buy their domains beforehand, and
Mhm.
then we can tell them, okay, so now you go over here, now you download this theme, and then
Mhm.
we create a website, live website for a longer drill.
Mhm.
In that case, we can also divide this one particular segment into a future workshop per se.
Yeah, exactly. We can do that like a 2 to 3 day workshop for like 2 hours on daily basis. The only thing is, more people there are, like more time it will take me to tell everyone what to do.
Yeah.
As I told before, each theme has different options. So if someone is going in e-commerce and someone is in portfolio and someone in blog, then all of them will have different interfaces, like kind of 20 to 30% different interface, right? So in order to tell them like the specific option, it will take time. So we can keep it just like this. But what we can do in our next workshop is go ahead and start with the website from scratch. That website will be according to the topic which everyone will choose. We can do like kind of a uh, uh, like ask everyone what they want the discussion on, either e-commerce or blog or portfolio. We'll choose that topic and we'll make that website from scratch.
I think that makes more sense because then we can
Yeah.
start from scratch
Sure.
since the very first step. So that would make more sense.
Yeah, so just give me 5 minutes. I'll cover everything, and then I'll need 5 additional minutes to tell something.
Perfect.
5 minutes
Take,
granted,
take your
man.
time, Bilal. Take your time.
There you go.
All right, perfect. Uh, so we have already seen uh, pages and stuff. Now I want to take some time on the product part. Let me give you a quick look on what products look like in a real-time website. Okay, so these are all the products which are added in the website right now. Adding a product and editing a product, it has the same layout. So I'll go ahead with editing a product. We'll see what options do we have. This is the same option which we had in our previous website. Title of the product, description of the product. Now look at these categories. I can choose multiple categories at the same time. Furniture, furniture category, and outdoor category. Now, if I click on any of this category in my front end website, I'll be able to see this product. Now, product image, product gallery. I click on add product gallery. I can select multiple images and add uh, those images in the website. Uh, these options are the same as well. Regular price, inventory. Since they have unlimited stock, they make stuff on demand, so they don't need inventory. Uh, Everything is the same, right? And this is the product short description. And this is how you edit a product, and this is what the product will look like on in the front end based on all of your changes. So this is the product image. These are the product galleries. This is the product name, product price, product short description. And this is something which is added by WordPress automatically. So you don't even have to worry about it. Category, the thing which we chose, description, all that long description which we added. And like, obviously you can give your reviews on this product as well. So whatever happens from here till the end of the user journey of buying a product, we don't have any idea about that. It is handled by WordPress automatically. We don't even have to worry about that. Like, I just added product to the cart. Now I'll view cart. I'll see the product which I just added. And okay. Uh,
There's something wrong with the
All
button.
right. Okay. So there is one thing. Since I'm making changes on this product right now, so we won't be able to add this product. The reason is this is the save feature of WordPress. Since I'm in the editing mode, I can change any information. And let's say if at the same time client is making that change is adding that product in the website right now, they won't know like what changes did we make. Maybe we increase the price of the product. This is the save feature of this shop right now. Since it's live, so it is not allowing me to make any change. And if I'm making any change, then it is stopping the customer to buy that product, right? So this is the beauty. Like, there are many things. So WordPress is not simple. It seems it is a really complex thing from the inside, but from the outside, it's as simple as changing a name or adding your own description. This is why WordPress is the number one choice. Uh, um, Add to cart, it's like a pretty basic thing, so I'll leave that right now. Uh, let's see at the categories real quick, and let's finish this product part so we can go ahead and I'll tell you like in which circumstances WordPress is good and in which WordPress is not. So we created these different categories. We can create these categories from the product page as well. If you want to edit, just click on edit, and we change the name. Like, we can add description, we can add like images in it. There are a bunch of options related to categories. And similarly, there are tags work like Instagram. So if you have like different uh, uh, products featuring different functionalities or different features, then you can add tags as well. And that's pretty much it. Let me look at the questions which you guys have. All right, perfect. So now coming to the last part of this workshop, WordPress. It can be a really good option for those who are just starting with their journey of making their own website. But WordPress has some limitations. It is pretty much flexible, and that's the reason why there are limitations. Limitations are when you are scaling. So WordPress is not definitely the end, but WordPress is the start. There are a lot of things out there. Once you start on scaling your website, once you start on making something big, you'll see a lot of options. WordPress is just the starting point of it. But still, we are making a lot of websites in our company on WordPress. The reason is that we ask those people with like a certain mindset that, what do you think for in next coming years, how many products will you have? If they reply anything, we will have more than 20,000 products in our shop, then we suggest them something else. So you can start with WordPress, and once you have gotten a gist of how websites are made, then you can jump on HTML and CSS, which is like the most basic, which is the most basic, you can say, technology in order to make the layouts of the website. Now, HTML, CSS they're used in WordPress as well. So if you go ahead and if you go into pages and if you go into uh, editing those pages using a text editor, then you will see a bunch of HTML in it. Like that gives you much more functionality and much more flexibility. So it totally depends on you. Like this classic editor, I will be able to understand I will be able to understand what is going on in the backend, like these options which we're seeing right now, a bunch of gibberish, but uh, maybe you won't be able to understand that. The reason is that this is how HTML and CSS is. Like you will have more flexibility on changing the design and layout aspect of your website. So starting off with CSS and HTML, you can then grow your expertise into a programming language. Anything which is as complex as, you can say, YouTube or SoundCloud or Facebook or Twitter or like these dynamic platforms, you always go for like a custom platform, not WordPress. WordPress is good for basic websites, for basic e-commerce sites. It's good for portfolio sites, for blogs, but not for like uh, uh, websites with custom functionality in it, like websites which let you um you can say which let you buy any kind of subscription, uh, which lets you control like content on their website dynamically, uh, like Patari. If Patari introduces their music functionality in their website, they cannot use WordPress. They have to go for like a custom platform for custom programming languages. So I guess this was it. If you have any question, then we can answer those. But if not, then we can uh, we can have another topic. We can go into the detail of it at some other day.
Yeah, someone can talk. You
Guys,
had your hands up.
yeah, if you guys have any questions, we're getting a lot of requests and a lot of thank yous. I agree with the latest request as well from Amina. This is something which we will definitely be looking after. Um, and
Yeah.
but yeah, I believe this session went on for longer than we expected. But then WordPress is a platform which, this is how it works. But we will definitely, I guess, do another session, Bilal, I think, next week or whenever. and where we can like go through, making a website from scratch so that, people can actually see that and they're prepared for the time as well, which it takes. Um, and guys, if you have any other questions related to WordPress website, WooCommerce, space, Bilal is still over here, and if there aren't any questions, I think we'll wrap it up and then call it a day. And goes without saying that all of this is recorded, and we will be uploading it on our YouTube channel so that you guys can, still benefit from the vast knowledge that Bilal just shared with all of us.
Yeah, also guys, don't forget to, give us a feedback on how did you like this workshop and what can be better in the next workshop. We'd love to hear that.
Okay, perfect. So, Amir, should we just go ahead and leave the training, or
I
is
think
there?
Bilal, I think I can see the end meeting button right now, and this is my hand. So
This.
thank you so much for coming, guys, and sticking around. Yes, we took quite a lot of your time. We understand, but thank you for sticking around.
Yeah.
Hope the session was worth it. Hope you guys learned what you came up for, because that's our intention. That's why we do these.
Thank you so much. Love you.
Yeah. So all right, guys. Bye bye.
Bye. Ciao.